Have you ever been giving a presentation in front of a class or work when your mind went blank? Cicero defines the use of memory as learning accurately by heart as many of our own writings and those of others as we can. But how do we use memory in writing? If I don't have to present it, I don't have to memorize it, right? The audience-oriented nature of Cicero's rhetoric means we can also expand memory to include making your writing memorable for your audience. Cicero goes on to say, in exercising the memory to, I shall not object if you accustom yourself to adopt that plan of referring to places and figures which is taught in the treatise on art. In other words, make it sticky. How can you make your message stick in your audience's brain? One way we can think of memory is to really know your topic. With Cicero, knowledge is important in rhetoric because you can't talk about what you don't know about. And that means getting your hands dirty. In sewing, the more experience you have, the easier it will be to follow the sewing pattern. In writing, who wants to write a paper that their audience immediately forgets? If your audience doesn't remember the point, what's the point? Making your message memorable to your audience is important if you're trying to persuade them to take a particular action. For example, even if we don't remember what DARE stands for, we do remember it has to do with teaching students to say no to drugs. When writing, think about how you can make your message easier to remember for your audience. While it can be tempting to make everything a fun slogan, there are other tools you can use. Like my colleague Jenna already said, a strong outline goes a long way to making your paper easier to remember. You can also consider images, visual aids, graphs, or even tables to present your information. In this case, a picture is worth 1,000 words. One specific example of making your writing memorable would be to include a visual aid. During one of my class projects, I was writing about my research with old recipes from the Hancock County Historical Museum to present it for the museum staff. Instead of just writing about the recipes, I got my fellow rhetoric and writing students together and we interpreted some old cookie recipes and made them so people would have a snack during the presentation. Not only did it make it easier for me to remember my presentation, because I actually knew the material in theory and practice, it also made the research tangible for the audience. People still come up to me to ask about my project because they remembered the cookies. Now that we've thought about how to make our message memorable, my colleague Sammy is going to help you think about how you want to deliver the message.